Greetings and salutations, Charlton66 here once again with another video. This video is a tag video started by BATCAVE Comics, and I learned through the channel of Long Box Love Affair. The tag, he tagged everyone in his video. If you need to subscribe to both of those folks if you haven't already done so. It's a video, tag video about sketches, showing your sketches you got at conventions, in your sketchbook and whatnot, and on your on the blank cover sketches that you've got done at comic conventions, a little history behind the sketches, why you got them, and you know the history and you know why you picked those characters and whatnot. So here's my entry, well, into the tag video. There's some of the sketches that I have. I'm not going to go over all of my sketches, it'd be a long video, but some of the, you know, ones that I can find really available that I can bring out and show. I do know this is my very first, as you notice, there's pieces on my wall that are missing that I took down to get a better look, because I know I did a quick room tour one day about, you know, some of the artwork I have on my wall. It was kind of awkward with my laptop trying to get that done. So I took down some of the sketches that I had matted and framed so I can show everybody. This is my first sketch that I ever got done. This I was 13, 14, roughly. It's about 1978. I met Bob Layton, one of my favorite comic book artists to this day, one of my first professionals that I met. Of course, it's the pose from the cover of 126. I didn't have enough money to buy that cover, but I had enough money. He only charged $10 to get these sketches done back then, and it was an experience I never forget. He actually, you know, we're 13, 14, and we're talking to him, asking questions, you know, who's tougher, who can beat who's stronger, can Iron Man really beat the Hulk, all this kind of stuff. And of course, he probably heard those questions a million times, but he listened to us and talked to us like he's never heard those questions before. He was a professional. He treated us really kind. We was at his table pestering him, I'm sure, of just questions and things we could take back and to our friends and talk about and that kind of stuff. So this one is, I've had it ever since then. My first sketch right here by Bob Layton. I'm going to show another sketch later that my friend who was with me got a sketch that same day of Iron Man, and I finally traded it off of him years later for a complete Tarzan run. I forgot what paperback company put it out. It was either Del Rey or maybe Bantam. I can't remember. Bantam maybe, but the complete Tarzan run I traded to him to get that Iron Man drawing from him, and I actually got it inked by Mark McKenna, which I'll show you here in a few minutes. This is by Joe Chin. I try to get a Charlton character every time I go and meet a professional at a convention or whatever. This is Peter Cannon Thunderbolt. So she did a nice ink watch and with this. So this is by Joe Chin. Big fan of Jim Calafiore. Dark Side by Jim Calafiore. I thought he captured the character pretty well. Pretty impressed with this piece. I'm impressed with anything that Calafiore does. So here's another Calafiore piece. Mercury the Metal Man, my favorite Metal Man. I like how you draw, like he's swirling up into the picture. Mercury. This I got done by Dick Ayers. I know some people have seen this already, but it was on my wall. But this I got done. Believe it or not, this only cost $50. That's all Mr. Ayers charged me for this piece, which I was ecstatic when he did it. he had to start it and send it to me later on in the mail. One after I got the Bob Layton sketch, it had to have been less than a year later. I finally met another one of my favorite artists, was Gene Colan. Mr. Colan was having really bad eye problems at the time, and he could only draw very little. So he was only doing head sketches of characters, and he had to put eye drops in his eyes and everything, and he was almost going blind, and you know, he really had some issues. This is around maybe, had to have been 82, 80, yeah, around 81, 82 time frame. But I had him do Blade and Dracula for me, which I thought would turn out pretty cool. I really felt bad for him too. I mean, you're an artist and you have an issue with your eyesight, so I wasn't too. I mean, I was a little kid, but I wasn't too demanding on what he drew for me, as long as I can get an original drawing from Gene of Blade and Dracula. Met the one and only Joe Sennett. I got a nice thing from him, my favorite FF member. And another Kyle Fury piece of Doc Savage. This one he colored for me. I gave him some, originally was just a drawing of Doc Savage, but when I gave him a magazine that had interviewed with Mobius, one of his favorite artists, and artwork he's never seen in this magazine, I just gave it to him just to, cause I knew he liked Mobius, and in return he colored the piece for me, which I thought was pretty good. That's why it says no good deeds go unpunished, because he's talking about the stuff I gave to him. I'm pretty happy with that. I'm a big Doc Savage fan. And another artist that I like dealing with is Jonathan K. Snyder III. I'm waiting for a commission from him from Baltimore. I'm having the two Mr. Terrifics, the new Mr. Terrific and the Golden Age Mr. Terrific, teaming up together in this commission. So I'm waiting for that to come in the mail. Hopefully he'll be done with it soon, and I'll have it in my sweaty paws here shortly. But I have Zorro. And again, he's one of those guys that's very generous with his time. You know, he appears at Free Comic Book Day and other places, and this actually was free. Free Comic Book Day, he actually did this for people. And I asked for Zorro, and this is what I got, which I'm very happy with that. And one of my favorite Golden Age characters is called Skyman, and Bob McLeod did Skyman for me. Another Califury piece, another Charlton character called Peacemaker. I know I've shown this before. Another Charlton character, the Peacemaker. Of course, Circle's not complete. I met Bob Layton last year, and I did a video on this one, but this is my Donovan Flint drawing I got from him at the Indianapolis Comic-Con. I went all the way to Indianapolis. That's where I was born. That's where I'm from. But drove from Maryland to Indianapolis to meet Bob and again and get another piece of artwork from him. So this is one of my favorite characters that he did from Star Hunters, Donovan Flint. There's an obscure Charlton character by the name of Primus. He's like an underwater adventurer, kind of like thinking about a one-man Sea Devils type of character. But I got Joe Staten draw that for me. This is from Baltimore, of course. Nice Primus drawing. Dick Ayers, again, another Dick Ayers piece of Ant-Man. It was penciled by Mr. Ayers, but it was inked by Mark McKenna. Batman. Another Calafiore piece, Doctor Strange. Another Dick Ayers piece, another Ghost Rider. Can't get enough of this character. Magazine Enterprises. Awesome, awesome Golden Age character. This was penciled by Mr. Ayers, but inked by Mark McKenna. Aquaman by Ramona Ferdinand. Inked by Mark McKenna. The pencils were by her. I had Mark McKenna ink it. Even though McKenna didn't sign it, that's who inked the drawing. Big fan of Tom Mandrake. I don't see him at shows that often. But when I did see him, the one time I did meet him, I had him draw a nice Spectre for me. Met John McCrae. I had him do on his awesome green paper, Mars Attacks. Which I thought turned out pretty darn awesome. There's another Calafiore piece, Nightcrawler, which I thought turned out really, really well. It says ho, ho, ho. He sent it to me for Christmas one year. I wasn't even expecting it in the mail, and there it came. And one of my favorite pieces is this Man-Thing by Frank Bruner. I want to make a copy of this on high quality paper and have it inked. I'm not going to ink the original pencils, but I think it's just phenomenal what he can do with a pencil. Here's a piece by Alex Saviuk, Doc Savage and the Phantom, two of my favorite characters together, which I think turned out really well. It didn't take him very long to do this piece either. I think he did it under an hour, if I remember correctly. I'm back with Jonathan K. Snyder. I'm a big fan of the Golden Age Vigilante. He did this piece for me here. Again, this was free of charge. And here's the last but not least, actually one more piece after this one. Here's the Iron Man piece I was telling you about that my friend had done the same day after we were bugging Bob Layton all those years ago. And this is a piece that he got, but his was penciled as well. But I had Mark McKenna ink it. I think it turned out really well. And last but not least are the ones I'm showing today. Another Calafiore piece of Hunter, which was a Warren character. Had that done. So again, that's the tag. I hope people who followed the tag and watched it and enjoyed it. I have more sketches, but it would have been way too long of a video. Had some stuff more from Joe Staton, more Charlton characters. I have I can't remember which other ones I have from Joe Staton. Oh, Mike Mauser. I have one of him, another Charlton character, and I have a Calafiore piece of Martian Manhunter. I got some other stuff that, like I said, the video would have been too long at this point, but hope you folks enjoyed what I showed, and talk at you later.